One thing I've noticed about having ADHD is that it's very easy to get bored when you have to do monotonous tasks. But are you bored or are you burned? What's the difference? Let's get into it. Hi, I'm Megan Brame. I'm a 5-time award-winning entrepreneur and business strategist. I teach multi-passion creatives how they can generate sustainable revenue across all of their outlets without burning out. Now, typically that means that my clients have ADHD, but if that's not you, don't worry, you're welcome here too, because my strategies will work for anyone who wants to run more than one business without driving themselves crazy. So welcome. First, a disclaimer. ADHD is a spectrum, and what may work for me may not work for you. My best advice is to try whatever feels like it would trigger your natural motivations, or take the foundation of these tips and find the part that best aligns with how you thrive. So today we're talking burnout versus boreout and how you can mitigate these so that you can run a business as a person with ADHD. First, let's talk burnout. I've had burnout. You've had burnout. We've all had burnout. But what does that actually mean? Burnout is a state of emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion caused by extensive and prolonged stress. Burnout typically happens when you're feeling really overwhelmed and unable to meet the constant demands in your life. If you've ever had a job where you felt like things were just piling up and you couldn't get out, you were just drowning in work to the point that you just shut down, congratulations. I think you have suffered burnout. Burnout is particularly prevalent in the entrepreneurial world. Myself included, my first business I burned out and actually closed it and walked away from. It got to the point where I didn't even want to sell it or pass it on. I just wanted to be done with it. I wanted to close the doors and walk away because I was so burned out. So I get it. As entrepreneurs, we often push ourselves way too hard. Deadlines, responsibilities, the ongoing pressure to succeed because you have to succeed, it can all lead to burnout. And especially for those of us with ADHD, the challenge or the pressure to keep hustling and break through and not accept defeat, it can be just so much pressure. So it's not a surprise that so many entrepreneurs, particularly those with ADHD, end up burning out and going off to do something else. On the flip side though, there's Boreout. It might sound weird, but for some people, having things on an even keel where there's nothing dynamic can be just as bad as burnout. And that's what we call Boreout. Essentially, you're not being challenged enough and you're starting to lose interest in what it is you do. Boreout stems from basically like a lack of stimmies, a lack of stimulation, feeling undervalued, or just not feeling like you're connecting with your work. And for ADHD entrepreneurs, I mean, Boreout can be incredibly insidious because it sneaks up when you start to feel like tasks are monotonous or don't stimulate the creative and the fast-paced thinking that you and I thrive on. Basically, it's not about being busy for busyness sake. It's about being engaged. So, I mean, they kind of sound similar, right? Like it's about losing that enthusiasm for what it is you do. Hi, Jimmy. Jimmy Bear. Jimmy Bear. Jimmy Bear. Here's my dog. But there's a stark difference here. Burnout comes from too much work, too much pressure, too much stress. Or on the other hand, Boreout comes from too little of a challenge, too little engagement, not enough stimulation, too little interest. Regardless of which one you might be feeling, you should know that both essentially have the same outcome because both can lead to decreased productivity. Do you hear my dog snorting at me? I have to work. I'm sorry. I love you. Both can lead to decreased productivity, a sense of inadequacy, and worst of all, can take a really big toll on your mental health. So managing whichever you're feeling, or even if you're feeling a little bit of both, is key. First, let's talk about how to manage burnout. Your best bet is to set realistic goals, delegate tasks when you can, and take regular breaks. Basically, to avoid burnout or to mitigate the damage that burnout is causing, you're going to need to bring in outside help because the more you put on yourself, the worse it's going to get. There's no working your way out of burnout. On the other hand, for Boreout, your best bet is to find the thing that sparks your creativity and your innovation and your desire for stimulation and re-stimulates that thing that you love about your business. I know that we all have to end up doing tasks that we don't love, but that need to get done. So the best way to be an adult, for lack of a better phrase, is to find something in that task that can help you find a challenge or find something that engages you. Let's talk about like bookkeeping, for example. Bookkeeping sucks. I'm not a fan, but it has to get done, right? So what I would do if I needed to get my bookkeeping done and it's on me to do it is I would try and find something that creates that engagement and like that connection with bookkeeping. Why do I need to do bookkeeping? Well, I need to know how much money I'm bringing in and how much money is going out so I can see if I'm profitable. Well, how much money am I making? Did I make more than I thought I would? Are there secret pockets of profits that I haven't realized? Do I have a product that is becoming a bestseller that I haven't noticed? Something like that. That's probably not the best example, but I hope you catch my drift on like the way you can avoid burnout for someone who is constantly seeking dopamine like we do is to pivot your thinking with it and try to find something that gives you that like, ooh, let me check. If you've tried that and you just like, the bookkeeping just still isn't interesting, then my recommendation is to mix it up a little bit. Change up your routine, incorporate new skills into it, learn a new bookkeeping app that you've been thinking about. If you don't want to do something, this is the perfect time to start figuring out ways that something else can do it for you, whether that is AI, a VA, an app, a service, something else. If you really feel like my bookkeeping is not getting done, I can't make myself do it, I can't find anything stimulating about it, then it's time to mix it up and bite the bullet and bring in outside help. Essentially, what you need to think about is it's like a relationship. How can you keep it fresh? What is it that you can find in it that's exciting to you still after all this time? That can be a big help that cancels that Boreout. Boreout is much more easily remedied than burnout is. But whether it's burnout or Boreout, recognizing the signs and taking proactive steps is crucial, especially for entrepreneurs like us with ADHD. Your well-being is key to your success. I've told you my burnout story, but I would love to hear yours. So leave a comment and let me know if you've had any burnout or Boreout events happen during your business. And if you found this video useful, I would really love if you would hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for even more content like this. Until next time, best of luck with your business. I'll see you in the next episode.